My name is Megan Timothy, and I'm a recovering stroke survivor challenged by lingering aphasia. Aphasia is the loss of one's reading, writing, and speaking abilities. I was born in southern Central Africa in a country called Rhodesia, which is now Zimbabwe. And from there I went to England to be a professional horsewoman, spent some time there, and then when I was 21 I came to America, and I used my riding abilities in Hollywood as a stunt woman for a time, and I also worked as a stained glass artist for quite a number of years, designed gardens, and I had a small hotel and was the chef, and I took care of my mother for about 23 years, and right after that I had my brain problem that caused aphasia. My book, Let Me Die Laughing, is about waking up from a brain explosion. Now the doctors get annoyed with me and say it wasn't an explosion, there was a bleed. But when you wake up in the morning and have your brains have fallen out of your head, it's definitely an explosion. So I call it an explosion. My brain injury was caused by a congenital brain defect called an arteriovenous malformation. The artery going up the left side of my brain was malformed, and it didn't divide into the proper veins that it should, and it was just this huge massive artery, and the pressure became too much and it exploded. Now this can happen when you're born, anytime during your life, or it might never explode, but mine exploded when I was 60. When you have aphasia, it does not mean your thought processes are affected. You just can't express them. I say that because I didn't know what the word meant. I mean, so I heard some of the doctors calling me aphasia. I thought they got my name mixed up. I wanted to say, no, my name's not aphasia, it's Megan, but the only word I had left out after the aphasia was chicken. So every time they asked me what every time I tried to tell them, no, aphasia's not my name, Megan is my name, all I could say was chicken. It was very frustrating. Before I rode my 12,000-mile ride around America in search of my mind, I had ridden 10,000 miles around North Africa, the Middle East, and all over Europe. And I really believe that this first journey was a preparation for my second journey, because the first one I went to so many different countries. I could not speak the language, I can only speak English, and I had to make my way through Bulgaria, Turkey, wherever, not speaking. Waking up after my explosion was like waking up in Bulgaria, for instance. You know, you have no communication. You can't speak the language, no one else speaks your language, and like when I woke up with my brain problem, I couldn't speak the language, no one could speak my language. It was all yell, like that. You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It seems I can never get in a place where I'm understood. The first year of traumatic brain injury, your learning process is quite fast. It's pretty slow when you're doing it, but in comparison it's fast. Like in the first year I relearned the alphabet and by the end of the first year I had begun to join the letters into words. And then after the first year I had to have brain surgery. I had to wait a year, and I had the chance at the brain surgery to lose all I had learned within that year. And that was the most frightening part of it, not the actual brain surgery. However, I was successful. I recovered from my brain surgery. I still had all the stuff I'd learned that year with me. I was very excited. I continued, and just short of a year after my brain surgery, I was feeling confident. I had written my first book in my head and had gotten it on paper. Very exciting. After my my brain trauma, after I began to speak again and began to write and had written the book, I still could find no answers of what exactly was wrong with me. I couldn't ask the right questions because I still didn't have all the words I needed. I could not read, because reading came the slowest part. That was the slowest to come back to me. I couldn't research, I couldn't work the computer, but I was so eager to find, and it was such an urgent feeling, to find some of these answers. What was wrong with me? How can I fix it? And I knew the answers were somewhere out in America. They had to be. And so I got on my bicycle and decided to ride around America and find it. Going to small towns and discovering brain injured people. Well, where did they all come from? And all of them seemed to be having the same problem as myself, trying to find answers of how to get back to their derailed lives, how to put those derailed lives back on track. Nobody had answers. I continued my journey, and it took me through 27 states. And during my 8 months on the road, I continued to meet a lot of stroke and brain injured survivors, all striving to right their lives. And although I couldn't read or write, or barely, it was a great strain, these people inspired me to write the stories of our comebacks. And I hope my book, 12,000 Miles for Hope's Sake, will not only bring encouragement to those who find themselves in a life crisis, but also bring them laughter, because that is the greatest healing power of all.